US President Donald Trump is sending his envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Pakistan for a second round of talks with Iran. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas has already arrived in the Pakistani capital. The visit follows last week's inconclusive discussions and diplomatic efforts by Pakistani officials to get the two sides together again. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt gave more detail.
The Iranians want to talk. They want to talk in person. And so the president is, as I've said many times to all of you, always willing to give diplomacy a chance. So Steve and Jared will be heading to Pakistan tomorrow to hear the Iranians out. We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting. And we will see. And the president, the vice president, the secretary of state will be waiting here in the United States for updates. And the vice president, I understand, is on standby and will be willing to dispatch to Pakistan if we feel it's a necessary use of his time.
Okay, so let's pick this apart with Sara Kermanian, who's a researcher in international relations. She's also an Iran expert at the University of Sussex. So welcome back to DW, Sara. This was scrambled. This was announced maybe in the last couple of hours. It all seemed very last minute. Is there anything we can read into this?
Thank you for having me, Phil. Well, I think the negotiations have already been delayed, right? And the ceasefire exceeded its 2-week period with no official announcement. So sooner or later, they must return to negotiations to extend it or resume the war. Pakistan has been really trying hard to mediate this negotiation. I think Trump's extension of the Lebanon ceasefire might be positive and inviting factors for Iran. And the competition over the Strait of Hormuz has really strained both sides and has restrained both Iran's economy and global economy. But moreover, if you see, because it seems that the negotiation teams have also changed, the hardliners have taken over in Iran, and J.D. Vance is not coming. So it might be the case that due to some changes and some kind of concerns of the Islamic Republic itself because of the tensions within the government. Now that the new negotiation team is likely to take over, both sides might try to take their chances. So yeah. I think part of the delay has been because Iran hasn't been very clear on who is going to lead to represent it in this round of negotiations.
And this apparent downgrading of the two delegations, no J.D. Vance for the United States and no Iranian Speaker of the Parliament for Iran. What are we to make of that?
Well, J.D. Vance seems to have not attended because Ghalibaf had not attended. At least that is how I hear it, because during the past few days, we have been hearing lots of news about J.D. Vance's plans to go to Pakistan, but we haven't really heard much about any plan on the Iranian side to send Ghalibaf. Currently, there are some tensions within the Islamic Republic. A faction of the government, which is reported to be led by Ghalibaf, is estimated to be more willing to make some compromise to make a deal with the U.S. Another faction, which is called Jabhat Paydari, well, it literally means a resilient front, but they actually call themselves another English name, which is not actually a good translation, is insisting on not making this compromise. So this faction, this Jabhat Paydari, is close to Mojtaba Khamenei, the new supreme leader, Saeed Jalili, who is likely to be Iran's representative in this round of negotiations, the prominent figure there. A critical issue is that for the first faction to have been able to succeed, Trump would have needed to make some compromise too, and to let them present the negotiations as a win to their domestic supporters. Because they're quite radicalized as a result of the war and because of the uprisings before that. But Trump didn't do it, neither rhetorically nor by letting the ceasefire to continue tension-free. So it seems that now the so-called hardliners have taken over again. They are going to represent Iran, Jabhat Paydari, and this means that in the course of events, hardliner now have the upper hand in negotiations probably, and it's not good news really.
So if everyone's looking for compromise, just remind us of the big sticking points for each side.
Well, the key sticking point is still on the nuclear program. The U.S. is reported to demand a 20-year enrichment halt, even though in some reports also Trump claimed that we want an indefinite enrichment halt, but more credible reports say that the U.S. has asked for a 20-year enrichment halt, dismantling of enrichment facilities and weapon capability. including the existing enriched uranium that Iran has. But Iran insists on a mere 3 to 5 years, apparently, pause and affirms its sovereign right to enrich uranium. This is also because they need to sell it. 20 years enrichment halt, they can hardly sell it to their supporters, whereas it's 3 to 5, they can convince them that it gives them enough time to rebuild the damaged infrastructures. Control of the Strait of Hormuz remains contentious because it seems that the U.S. pushes for immediate full reopening, but Iran conditions access on a final deal. Iran seems to have asked for both the diluting of the enriched uranium or shipping of it, and also the opening of a Strait of Hormuz on some sanctioned reliefs at least, or reaching some sort of a deal, and also the freeing of its frozen assets. And these frozen assets itself and the compensation for strikes as well, they are also points of disagreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Comprehensive list. Thanks for talking us through that to Sara Kermanian from the University of Sussex.